Beautiful day and early evening in the Pacific Northwest. We check the lineups. They're familiar to you by now. The Trail Blazers are at home. Whether or not that's an advantage can be debated. Since the Lakers won the opener of this series, the road team has won every game since. Let's check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Just an update on Kobe Bryant. With that bruised fifth metatarsal of his right foot, he has a protective covering over his head. It's a little bit sore. They've done a special kind of wrap, but he is ready to play. In terms of Portland Trail Blazers and their injury to Scottie Pippen, who dislocated 2 fingers on his left hand. He didn't practice since last game. He said the fingers are a little sore, has them taped, but realized how important this game is. He is ready to play. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. The officials are Danny Crawford, Ron Garrettson, and Bernie Fryer. It was Garrettson who tossed Rasheed Wallace in Game 1 of this series in L.A.
Bob, let's talk about matchups here early. We know that Kobe Bryant, the last 3 games, has matched up against Scottie Pippen. In games 3 and 4 here, it worked. Lakers got 2 wins. In game 5, Scottie went right at him, got him in foul trouble. We have seen that Kobe has not played well with fouls. With that said, he will guard Stoudemire tonight to stay out of foul trouble. Not so much because of his sore foot, because he cannot get in foul trouble for this Laker team tonight, especially early in this game.
Shaq will jump against Sabonis. Since being all but blanked in the first 2 games in Los Angeles, Sabonis has played pretty well. In the last 3 games, he's averaged 12 points, 6 rebounds, shot better than 50% from the floor. And if he can hit a few of those outside shots, obviously it changes Shaq's approach defensively.
I think that's the biggest thing, Bob. When he's hitting, Shaq has to be aware of him, and it opens up the lane for the Blazers to be able to post other players.
Violation on the jump, and they give the ball to Portland.
And we know that in games 3 and 4, Portland got off to great starts. You talked about, Bob, they were up 10 at the end of game 3, up 5, at halftime of game 4. They weren't able to sustain it. Let's see tonight if they get off to that roaring start that we saw in games 3 and 4.
Bryant opens on Stoudemire, as you predicted, before the game began. How many minutes Stoudemire will get is another question. Portland's big lineup in the backcourt has been very effective. Rice playing Pippen, at least for now.
And what we always see is Wallace posting early against AC Green.
Here it is. That's their first play almost every time. This time it doesn't go down, but Wallace saves it to Stoudemire. And finally, Shaquille O'Neal, who had 21 boards in Game 5, snatches that one.
Now, Damon Stoudemire needs to make some baskets out there, because in the 2 wins, he has no points and 2 points. He needs to show that he can be out there in a big Blazer win.
Here's Ron Harper. It's been a surprising plus for them offensively. Bryant over the smaller Stoudemire. He hit it, and a whistle.
See, Isaiah Thomas made a great point in the studio. When you get an injury, a lot like Kobe Bryant does, it slows you down. And this is what happens. He takes the 1 dribble, squares himself up. So instead of thinking about maybe doing 2 or 3 things, as Isaiah talked about, you take that one option, you go up strong, and you get into it. That's what we saw from Kobe right there.
Kobe Bryant has had 1 big game in this series, 25 points in Game 3. Overall, he's averaging 17 points in the 5 games and shooting just 40%. He starts with a long jumper and a 3-point play. Here's Steve Smith. And Smith continues with radar-like accuracy, shooting well over 50% in the playoffs.
And he has been steady throughout every round, around 16 points in every series.
Let me correct myself on the Bryant basket. By force of habit, I said 3-point play. Fouled on the 3-pointer, a 4-point play. Here he is again. Shaq finds Harper. Nice pass by Shaq.
Now, AC Green is not going to get credit for that play, but he's the one that knocked that ball loose.
So the 4-point play by Bryant and the bucket by Harper makes it 6-2 in favor of the Lakers, and a whistle at the other end.
Hustle plays, that's what winning championships are all about. You see, Rasheed Wallace does not block him out, so AC Green gets a clear path to the basket, knocks the ball away from Scottie Pippen, and Ron Harper gets the easy layup. Ron Harper has been great in this series.
That foul was on AC Green, who's a Portland native and an alum of Oregon State. Well, they just changed it back. I guess I was right the first time. They took a point away from the Lakers and said that Kobe Bryant's first basket of the game was a 2-pointer plus the foul for a 3-point play, not a 4-point play. So make it 5-2. They just took a point off the board for the Lakers. Testing Green and scoring.
He has such great extension. If you don't come back and dig on that ball when he comes across that lane and he gets in rhythm, he will knock that shot down 8 of 10 times.
Kobe out of the pack to Harper. 5 on the shot clock. Bryant over Stoudemire. And Smith chases it down. Steve Smith driving, got past O'Neal.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal's got to come over and get better support help than that. He allowed Steve Smith to go right in and lay that ball in the basket. Phil Jackson won't like that kind of defense.
3 seconds.
Glenn Rice. They need something from him. You said they need 15 tonight.
Well, the big three had got them 67 wins in this season, and it's been sort of the big two, and then who else was going to show up here in the playoffs, especially as we gotten deep in the playoffs. They need Rice.
Sabonis lets it go. Shaq came out to meet him at least a bit, and Green takes the rebound. Sabonis cuts in front, slaps it away, and Stoudemire has it.
How about that quickness by Sabonis?
Stoudemire dumps it back into Sabonis, who misses. Shaq making sure that Wallace and nobody else has any idea about taking it away from him. No look pass to Green, who was fouled. But again, you have to admire O'Neal's passing skills. He led all centers, averaging almost 4 assists a game this year.
This was Kobe's basket that they initially said 3 and they made it a 2, well inside the 2-point line. So, Bob, you were right all along with that. And the best part about it is the referees corrected it. You don't want to, all of a sudden get down to a late game and a play like that cost you, especially in a game like this where the Lakers, if they win, move on to the finals to join Indiana. And congratulations to the Pacers, Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, and the rest of that team.
After the foul by Steve Smith, AC Green, who was scoreless in Game 5, makes them both. Wallace again against Green. Shaq comes over to help, leaving Sabonis free, but it pops out. Pippen tried to steal it, but he was out of bounds.
But, Bob, you made the point earlier. That's why Sabonis is so important. If Shaquille O'Neal is going to go back and help down on Rasheed Wallace or any post player, Sabonis is going to knock that shot in. So he's got to continue to get that look. Shot looks a little flat tonight here to start this game.
All but one of LA's starters has scored. The one is Shaquille O'Neal, who doesn't have a field goal attempt yet. Here's Kobe, knocked away from him. Stoudemire's got it, and he's gone.
These are the kind of plays that Stoudemire has to make. He's at his best in the open court. So when he's on the floor, the Blazers have to be able to push the tempo of the game.
O'Neal, his first attempt. Out of bounds touch last by the Blazers.
And you think Phil Jackson hasn't talked to his team about throwing the ball inside, everything inside that three-point line. Phil knows that on the road, you can't shoot threes like you do at home. In their 2 wins here, shot about 13 threes in both of those games.
O'Neal into the lane against Sabonis, follows his own shot.
So that's where Shaq is so difficult to cover, because for most big men, not only does he overpower you, but he's so quick. So he goes right back after that missed shot.
Stoudemire is free, but overshot it, and AC Green takes it. Harper driving, contact, ball out of bounds, no foul.
The Lakers are a power basketball team. This is the MVP. Get the ball inside. Look, he misses it, but he just powers himself back to the basket. Lakers off to a great start here. They lead by 3.
And it will be Laker ball when we come back.
And then he will give the ball out, and instead of shooting the threes, drive that ball inside. And that's what we've seen the Lakers do to start this game.
Here's Rice off the inbound from Harper, shoved back in his face. He claims he was fouled. Portland has the ball in transition. Stoudemire finds Smith. Good look at a 3 and shot an air ball, a rarity for him. He's hitting better than 50% from three-point range in the playoffs.
He was 11 for 18 in this series, shooting over 60%, so he's really been on fire from that line.
Another Blazer steal. Stoudemire driving and connecting.
Smart move. You got to attack Kobe Bryant. That's what Portland did in Game 5. I thought in Games 3 and 4 they went away from him. They said if he's going to be out there, we're going to make him defend. Damon Stoudemire again. This is when he's at his best. That little herky-jerky crossover move in the open court to foul, the opportunity for the three-point play. And again, Bob, I can't emphasize it enough. If Damon Stoudemire's got to be on the floor, early in the game especially, they have got to play up-tempo basketball, because in a half-court game he becomes a liability.
The foul was Bryant's first. And Stoudemire can't complete the three-point play. Still a 1-point Laker lead. Harper finds Rice. A 2-point attempt is long. Smith with the rebound.
Right back to Kobe again, see if they can get a foul. Steve Smith hurt him in LA with this.
Here it is, and he got it. Smith has 6. He's been a rock of consistency, averaging around 16 a game throughout the playoffs and seldom falling off. Bryant spinning, Pippen over on the double team. Kobe in some trouble. Lunges inside and Sabonis blocks it. Stoudemire to the hoop.
This is Portland tempo. Rebound the ball, kick one loose, get in the open court, and attack. Make the Lakers play 94 feet.
Harper. Rebound to Stoudemire. They want to run. The Lakers get back. Stoudemire kicks it out to Smith. And now it's Pippen.
Kobe now on Wallace. Somebody has to help. Watch Sabonis for the shot outside.
On the run, he had it knocked away. It's still Blazer ball. 5 on the shot clock.
See, the Blazers, Bob, are great at finding a mismatch. So what they force you to do is help. They space the floor great. They keep their shooters on the perimeter.
Off Stoudemire's hands. Got to get up a quick shot. Stoudemire does and hits it.
Well, you know, Kobe is now guarding Stoudemire. That's no night off now. This guy can score. More importantly, he's quicker than Scotty, so he puts a different kind of pressure on him.
To up and down performances on a definite uptick in the first quarter of Game 6. He scored 8. And the Trailblazers lead by 5.
I talk so much about how the Blazers likes to go to matchups. Steve Smith, he has Kobe Bryant. He's going to make him guard it. He backs him down, shoots over the top of him. The little post jump shot. Remember now, Steve Smith is 6'8". Then the trapping defense by the Blazers, swarming Kobe Bryant in the post. Sabonis comes over and gets the block shot. And again, this is when the Blazers are at their best, especially at home. Damon Stoudemire on the finishing end of a fast break. And then Damon once again, little screen roll, gets his shoulder turned around Kobe Bryant, the little up and under move. The Blazers are on a 10-2 run. Damon has 8 of the 10 points. Let's go over to Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Doug. Scottie Pippen told me that Damon Stoudemire has really been in a funk the last couple of days. In a funk in a way, he's very determined to show that he can play at this level. That he's been very aware of things that have been saying and how the Lakers have been trying to take advantage of him and wanted to go out tonight and show that he could compete at this level of the playoffs. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. Here's another Laker turnover. Stoudemire got a piece of it. Pippen picked it up. Rasheed Wallace hits off the glass.
No, he was very fortunate on that time. It looked like he got bumped on the way up. I think he was trying to shoot that ball straight in the basket, but he got the kind roll off the glass. Blazers now up 7, doing it with their defense.
They've shot 9 of 16. The Lakers 4 of 13. The Lakers have turned it over 3 times. Portland hasn't turned it over at all. Shaq in deep. That's trouble for Portland, and they have to foul him.
So, Bob, when you and I were coming to the game tonight, I said to you, I think one of the real keys for Portland, if they're going to win, and we're looking at that guy, Arvydas Sabonis, I felt like that if he could stay out of foul trouble, especially early, not pick up 2 quick fouls in the first 6 minutes, that they would be in good shape. And he's been able to do that. So that is going to be real key. Rasheed Wallace picked up the foul, but it's going to be important. Remember now, he and Scottie Pippen must play heavy minutes tonight. Those are their 2 key guys.
O'Neal misses the first. He had a string of 15 made in a row. Spread over the end of Game 3, all of Game 4, and part of Game 5. He misses them both.
Now remember, if he's missing tonight, we could see hack-a-shack. Mike Dunleavy says it's a game-to-game thing. If he's not making them, we will foul him.
The foul a moment ago was Wallace's first, and Sabonis doesn't have one yet. Smith spinning. Kobe was the defender. That's an illegal defense that's called. Number 1 on Phil Jackson's Lakers.
If you're going to post people, you have to keep spacing on the floor, and the Blazers do a good job, especially when Sabonis is out there. Shaq loves to go back and stand in that paint.
There's a foul right away as Harper and Smith got tangled up. Number 1 on Hart.
Again, they're going to go to Steve Smith. He comes over. Harper tries to take the little flop. They won't buy it, and then he reaches out and grabs him, and the reason he does is because he doesn't want to give him an easy layup. He takes the foul.
On the shot clock. Stoudemire deals to Sabonis, who hits it.
Bob, I get a sense tonight from the Blazers that they have the lead. We know that, but I don't sense them burning as much energy as we saw the last 2 times we were here.
Shaq juggles and recovers. Lakers trail by 9 here. O'Neal powers in and cuts it to 7.
Power. Did you see him turn in and with that left arm? Now Sabonis probably weighs about 290 pounds. He hit him and rocked him right back on his heels.
Steve Smith.
They're going screen roll from the top. Steve Smith's a great shooter, as is Sabonis. Shaq has to guard it. If he doesn't stop Smith, he will take the shot. If he does, he'll throw back to Sabonis. 2-man basketball.
Robert Horry just in. Off the dribble through the lane. And an offensive foul.
You can see the Lakers know that they can't shoot a lot of three-point shots, as they did in their 2 losses. 25 in one of the games, 27 in the other, 3-point attempts. So Robert Horry says, I'm going to drive it to the basket. Pippen steps right in and takes the charge. And you talk about Scottie Pippen being that fill-in-the-blank kind of guy. I don't even think he's taken a shot in this quarter, but he's got rebounds, assists, takes a steal, and is running the team tonight, and they have a 9-point lead.
Steve Smith around Harper, back to Sabonis, clean look at it, got it.
There you go. Go back to it. If they don't stop it, run it again. This time Shaq Hill open. That's why he's so vital, staying out of foul trouble, hitting that shot.
Harper gets into the lane and scores.
He just doesn't have any lateral movement. It looked like he could get over and get the charge, but Sabonis just can't move his feet anymore.
Smith looking to test Kobe with the fadeaway. And the Trailblazers have made their last 9 consecutive shots.
And you could see that Mike Dunleavy has said, we are going to attack Kobe Bryant. If anything, if he's going to play 47 minutes, we're going to wear him down.
Rice looking for Shaq, who takes it through the lane and throws up a wild shot that clears the backboard. Stoudemire pushes it back the other way. Into Wallace, who juggles it and loses it. Kobe Bryant got up in the air and traveled.
Remember how out of character Kobe played in Game 5, Bob? He was out of sync. He got fouls early, rushed his offense, and you can see it right now. He's still not in any kind of rhythm. The Blazers have disrupted that. They've run people at him, and in attacking him in many instances, he wants to go play payback. You can't do that.
He came down a split second before he released the pass, and that's why they call walking on him. 5th Laker turnover to 1 for Portland, and Smith gets in but misses. Wallace trying to keep it alive and does on the offensive glass.
Shot clock turned off. Got to get into this quickly.
Looks like they're not going to get a good shot. Smith had it knocked away. But that's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Portland since the very early stages of the first quarter.
Well, you look at the numbers. We know that these 2 stars have been the guys all season long, and the Blazers have done a great job. They're 3 of 10 combined. The defense has been set, and right now the Lakers are really struggling to find any kind of offensive rhythm.
And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. Kobe Bryant made his first shot, missed his next 4 in the first quarter.
Now the Portland starters played all 12 minutes in that period. Remember now, as they go to the bench, that bench has to really help them. So Brian Grant is coming into the game. Sabonis is staying out there. Pippen is out there, Stoudemire, and Steve Smith. So Brian Grant is giving Rasheed Wallace a rest here.
And here's Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Doug, you were talking about the Lakers having trouble with the screen and roll. Phil Jackson just told Shaquille O'Neal, rather than the fake on that screen and roll, go all the way, make the full commitment, try to stop it. Bob?
Bryant brings it to the front court as we start the second quarter. He gets it right back from Robert Horry and slams it emphatically.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that foot. Not with that kind of finish.
I'd say he got some lift off there.
Watch this Fox Pippen now. Fox is going to get very physical with Scottie Pippen.
Sabonis driving on Shaq, and there's a whistle. The shot dropped. No basket.
The Lakers start out in the second period. Scottie goes over to help, and he leaves Kobe Bryant. Now, when he's guarding Kobe, he's got to stay more attached to him. He can't roam around out there. And Kobe does a nice thing. He works against his vision, and when you're struggling at only 1 of 5, it's nice to get one of those layups.
Foul was on Shaq before the shot. O'Neal's first. Steve Smith threw a crowd and lost it. Bryant out on the wing. Pippen guarding him. O'Neal over Sabonis. Rebound to Fox and a whistle before he can put it back. And it's on the Lakers.
Now, Rick Fox has just barely been on the floor about a minute, about actually 50 seconds. One play, he stood up Scottie Pippen as he came down the court. On this one, he pushed Steve Smith in the back. So Rick Fox has come in to be very physical.
And he picks up his first.
Steve Smith looked like he jammed his foot as he came down on that last play when he turned it over. Mike Dunleavy giving him a rest. Bonzi Wells is in the game. Now remember, Bonzi loves to post. Kobe's on him. Let's see if they go right down to him and test him.
Stoudemire to Sabonis. On the move, knocked away from him. Out of bounds and touched last by the Lakers. 4 on the shot clock. Pippen into Stoudemire. Quick shot on the move. Grant on the offensive glass. Saw Shaq out of the corner of his eye and decided I'll take it back out. Here's Pippen. Dumping into the corner for Stoudemire. Horry's got him on a mismatch switch. Sabonis 4 on the shot clock. Flips it back to Stoudemire. Just exactly who was the point guard on that play.
How beautiful was that? The little shovel pass going to the left, right hand under the left arm.
Damon now in double figures with 10. And the lead in double digits at 11. O'Neal was hacked, and he'll shoot 2.
Sabonis has such an awareness of the shot clock. Watch this now. Right hand under the left arm, looking the other way, and Stoudemire burying that open jump shot.
Stoudemire now takes a seat to a hearty round of applause. Detlef Schrempf comes in, and O'Neal is now 0 for 3.
Now, Detlef Schrempf and Brian Grant, we talked about it in our open. They had, just at the right time for Portland, their best games of the series. Detlef Schrempf, we know, a veteran player, was in the Western Conference Finals when he played in Dallas, was in the NBA Finals when he was in Seattle, and he was terrific the other night just when they needed him.
0 for 4. Rebound Grant. The foul a moment ago was on Bonzi Wells, so Sabonis still does not have one. Here's Pippen, who hasn't taken a shot yet, but as always is contributing in a variety of other ways.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think Scotty's got to be careful and not let himself totally be taken out of the offense.
Bonzi Wells off the dribble. And Horry comes away with it. Deep to Shaq. They hold a team meeting around him, and somebody fouled him. Nope, he walked first. He traveled first.
Rick Fox had a wide-open three-point shot, and you see Phil Jackson looking on the floor. He would have taken that shot at home. You see it right there. He goes inside, and you said, look at all the Blazers surrounding Shaq. The little hop step right there, he shuffles his feet. The hard foul. Shaq getting very frustrated. He's 0 for 4 from the line. The Blazers lead by 11. Does what they've been doing, and that's trying to go at Kobe in the post. Let's see if they go to Detlef Schrempf here.
Here's Grant putting it on the floor and driving home.
Now that play was made because Horry dropped off to help Kobe, and Brian Grant did the right thing. Drive the ball right to the basket. Next time he'll be able to make that entry pass.
That's Grant's first basket. Kobe into Shaq. Ball stripped away from him. Another Laker turnover.
Shaq just rattled Schrempf in that open court. I don't know if they got it on Fox or Shaq, but 2 of them collided.
They called it on Fox, his second.
As I said before, Rick Fox is coming out and really putting his body on people. Now they're going to go back to Schrempf. Once again, Brian Grant has the ball trying to feed him.
Here he is, and he hits the jumper.
If Horry's going to lay off, you got to shoot the basketball. That's what Brian Grant's doing. That's good offense.
A 15-point lead. Fox for 3. Can't cut into it. Pippen's got the rebound.
And that's the Lakers' first three-point attempt.
And the Trailblazers lose it. They were trying to get Grant along the baseline, and the Lakers broke it up and stole it. Shaw to Shaq against Sabonis and 2 others. He finds Horry, and Grant fouled Horry.
That's what I was talking about. Look where Robert Horry is, dropping back in. So what do? You drive the ball right to the basket. You take away the passing angle, You take the ball to the basket off the dribble. That's good defense. And excuse me, good offense. And then the next time down the floor, he does the same thing. He drops off. So what do? You work against his vision, get yourself together, make that little 15-foot jump shot. That's why it's important for Brian Grant to get a layup so he won't run away from that little jump shot of his that he can shoot effectively at about 15 feet.
Robert Horry gets his first point of the night from the line. He shot 4 of 8, and 3 of them were three-pointers in Game 1. Since then, he's 8 for 32. He shot just 25% since Game 1 and 30% overall in the series.
What I've seen here tonight also, too, is Sabonis is playing a heavy load here in this first half. Normally he gets a rest. I think what you're seeing Mike Dunleavy is, as long as he's not in foul trouble, keep him out there against Shaq, because when he sits down, Shaq really gets going because he just overpowers the smaller Blazers inside when Sabonis is out.
And Sabonis hasn't been whistled for a foul yet. He fires it over Shaq, and it comes up short. Bonzi Wells on the offensive glass. And it's back to 15. Bryant over Wells. And Kobe has 7.
That's a tough shot, but if you're the Blazers, you'd love to keep Kobe from getting in that lane area and breaking your defense down. You'll live with some jump shots and not getting to that foul line.
Bonzi Wells gets inside again.
This guy's got some great moves. Remember in the first 2 games he was terrific, really quieted down. Tonight off to a very good start.
Kobe spinning and firing. He was fouled.
Sometimes in the game, just be active. Good things will happen. Shot goes up. Bonzi Wells totally out of the play. You see him come in, just wants it a little bit more, and is able to make the reverse layup. The next time down the floor, not known for his ball handling, little up fake. He's going to drive the ball inside, slice between 2 defenders, and a nice soft finish off the glass. And you know Rasheed Wallace really likes it. He's sitting over the bench. He wants to get back in the game, but cheering on his teammates.
And Wallace has just checked back in. The foul on Bonzi Wells was his 2nd. Kobe hits the free throw, giving him 8 points. And finally, Sabonis, after 17 minutes, gets his first rest.
Now let's really keep our eye on Shaq. With Sabonis down, can he really get himself going and power that ball into the basket? So they're up 13 with the Blazers with the ball. Let's keep our eye here on the running score with Sabonis down.
As they try to go into Wallace, there's a Laker foul. It's number 2 on Robert Horry. Stops the clock with 6:54 to play in the first half. And Portland try to push it to Game 7 in front by 13.
They're out rebounding him 13-10. So those 2 critical areas we talked about in our open, points off turnovers, taking care of the ball, and rebounding, the Blazers are winning.
Here's Detlef Schrempf, who didn't play in Game 4, then came off the bench and came up big in Game 5. Here it's knocked away from him. Horry's got the steal. Now Rick Fox to finish it.
That ball went right between Scottie Pippen's leg. He was like a goaltender in hockey. Tried to block the shot with his leg, went right through his legs.
Grant cross-court to Schrempf. Schrempf on the move with an off-balance jumper that's short. Bonzi Wells misses the tip. For O'Neal.
Brian Grant worked so hard on that possession. The ball went side to side 2 different times before he finally got great post position. That's what I'm talking about. When Sabonis sits down, they have no answer in there.
The Lakers now with 6 unanswered points to trail by 9. Rasheed Wallace against Horry. Little flip inside to Bonzi Wells.
Right, Bonzi Wells is active tonight, and you know sometimes when you make a very aggressive play early in the game to get results, especially if you're a young player, it gives you great confidence. I think we've seen that tonight in Bonzi Wells.
Horry for 3. Overshot it rather badly. Still can't find the range since Game 1. Pippen to that man Bonzi Wells, but it's shoved back into his face by Horry. And then Bonzi Wells commits his third.
Portland is committed to run every time they get an opportunity, and Robert Horry missed the three, did not hang his head, came running down the floor and got a shot block there that prevented the Blazers maybe from an easy layup, and then Bonzi Wells out of frustration with the foul, and then after the play gave Harper a little extra shot. You got to stay away from that. You don't want to get involved in those things tonight as Scottie Pippen sits down for his first rest.
Stoudemire and Smith are in as Pippen and Wells go out. Wells was plenty active, as you said. In one sense, too active. 3 quick fouls. And a whistle at the other end.
Scottie Pippen sits down. He played the entire first quarter, 7 minutes here almost of the second quarter, and did not take a shot. So he played actually 19 minutes. And again, I think Scottie has to be very careful not to take himself completely out of the rhythm. Even though his team is winning, we found out that when he scores, it really helps his team.
Foul was on Stoudemire, his second. One more coming for Harper. You can log on to NBA.com and follow tonight's Lakers-Blazers game with Sync TV, the ultimate online companion to each NBA playoff broadcast. Real-time stats, polls, news, and the ability to interact with special guest hosts and other fans online. NBA.com Sync TV. Harper misses them both. Strength off the dribble into the lane, finds Grant, and now Smith. 4 on the shot clock, and Smith traveled.
That's Kobe making a great defensive play. He knows Steve Smith loves to catch and go with that right hand. And what Kobe do? He jumped right to his right shoulder. Had it not been a walk, it would have been an offensive foul. Watch Kobe here with the quickness, jump out, shuffling of the feet. Steve Smith as he walks with the basketball.
Harper on the drive, cut off by Smith. Horry overthrew Bryant. Kobe goes back near midcourt to get it. 6 on the shot clock as they get it in deep to Shaq, who was fouled.
I don't know how you can play him in there like that. When he catches that ball that deep, watch him turn in and the power. Bob, just watch this as he turns in. Watch that left arm as he rocks Brian Grant. Now, the rule is you cannot dislodge the defender down there to gain an advantage. And I said all season long he's the toughest man in the league to referee because what is getting an advantage by using your arm and what is just in the natural flow of the game. It's very tough to determine.
For 5. We mentioned the other night when he was running off 15 in a row spread over 3 games that he had 2 different games in the mid-90s with Orlando where he made 12 for 12. And Wilt, barely a 50% career shooter, was 28 for 32 at the line the night he scored 100 points. O'Neal is now 0 for 6 in this one, but it bounces back out to Harper. Here's Robert Horry back into O'Neal, triple teamed, and he shoots a very high percentage on those.
A little frustration in that dunk right there as Shaq missed both free throws. He's 0 for 6 from the line. He goes up powerfully and dunks it in the basket. Then afterwards bangs in to Sabonis. And I think Sabonis might have got a technical on the play. But let's watch this. Frustration, power, all those things. Sabonis goes down and he grabs his leg and they call a technical foul on Sabonis. That was all set up because they did not block off the free throw line.
Kobe misses the technical. Let's replay that exchange underneath. Somebody's screaming. Sabonis was muttering, and eventually he took his complaint to Ron Garretson, who hit him with the technical. The Lakers have shot 7 of 16. 6 of those 9 misses belong to Shaq at the free throw line. Rasheed Wallace against Horry, who got a piece of it, but fouled him. Just to complete the thought on O'Neal, what I was getting at with Wilt, 28 of 32, just because a notoriously poor free throw shooter, has a good stretch, it doesn't mean that he's suddenly become a good free throw shooter. He's a work in progress. At the line, he has improved, but not to the point where he can be satisfied.
Well, a great point there. He is a work in progress. And when I talked to Phil Jackson about it, Shaquille O'Neal broke his wrist as a younger guy. And I think that really hurts him. He doesn't have full extension when he takes that ball back. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful. He's got huge hands, and it's very difficult for him to shoot a high percentage and stay in rhythm. And again, Bob, we've seen it. Game 1 and Game 2, what he shot 5 of 17 in a loss. The big Game 4 win here when he was perfect. And tonight, the free throw percentage by Shaquille O'Neal, he's 0 for 6 from the line.
Now John Sally and Shaquille O'Neal are in the game at the same time, which rarely happens. Glenn Rice is also back on the floor, and he's scored only 2 points so far in 12 minutes of play for the Lakers. Horry and Fox went out. Pippen on Bryant. Kobe over him. And Bryant has 11 first-half points.
Now, is this what LA's trying to do? Exactly what 3 and 4. Portland gets off to a great start. LA weathers it, hang around, pull it close at half, hoping to be able to pull away in the second half. I think it's important that Blazers get a strong finish here.
Sabonis hooks over Shaq and misses, but the tip is there for Steve Smith.
Well, you normally don't see Ron Harper give up a second shot. He's very upset with himself. He's a veteran that does all the little intangibles. Not happy with himself on that play.
12 points for Smith. Kobe up in the air, finds Rice for 3.
Well, somebody fell asleep that time. I think Scottie Pippen thought that Kobe was going to take the shot. He went in for the rebound. Kobe, with that great hang time, found Rice at the last moment.
Wallace puts it on the floor, and the block is called on John Sally.
Kobe Bryant with a great footwork, with a little inside turn. Look at him looking eye to eye. He goes up against one of the best defenders of all time and buries the little jump shot. The next time down the floor, he dribble penetrates. He gets hung in the air. He gets chased off his shot at the last moment. He finds Rice, and the Blazers don't want this guy to get hot. He had 21 here in Game 4. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. About his first finals opportunity, Bob.
Since the merger in 1976, none of the 4 former ABA teams had ever made it to the finals until last year, when the Spurs won it all, and this year the Pacers make it too, in terms of getting to the finals.
I just think this last 2:46 here is vital for the Blazers. They have dominated this first half. They are up 9, opportunity to go 10, and they do not want to let the Lakers close this down going into half. That would be a big boost for the Lakers. So an important 2:46 here right now for Portland.
For what it may be worth, the Pacers were 2-0 against Portland this year and split 2 games, each team winning at home against the Lakers.
Remember, they ended the Lakers' 16-game winning streak in Conseco Fieldhouse.
Glenn Rice with Smith all over him. 2 seconds to shoot. They don't realize it. 24-second violation.
Kobe Bryant is really the only guy on the team that can create his own shot against that clock. He didn't have the ball that whole possession. They got it to Shaq so late, there was nothing he can do with it. That was excellent Portland defense.
Stoudemire turns the corner and hits off the glass. What about this guy?
Well, I will tell you this. Phil Jackson's got to talk to his team at halftime, because their screen roll defense is very porous right now, and the Blazers are really hurting them with that, especially Stoudemire getting all the way to the basket for layups. He's only 5'10".
He's outscored Kobe in this half, 12-11. Here's Rice with a hand in his face, no good. Sally had it for an instant, but it's slapped away and stolen by Stoudemire. Wallace deep over Sally.
Big, powerful finish by Rasheed Wallace. Lakers right now need a tremendous possession here. They got to show poise. See if they can get that ball inside to Shaq.
Kobe from the head of the key. It spins out and Wallace takes it.
Keep the tempo up. Right now you're attacking. Stay in the attack mode. There you go.
Stoudemire pulls up and comes up short with it. He slipped his defender but couldn't hit the jumper.
See, with John Sally on the floor, Rasheed Wallace is going to roam. He's going to be in anybody's lap who tries to post up.
Rice on the move. Tough hoop. And there was a lot of contact prior to that between Rice and Smith, which the officials let go.
2 opportunities here for one for the Blazers. They got an opportunity here to get a good possession, a defensive stop, and then another possession.
Scottie Pippen, his first shot is into the hands of Fisher. Kobe Bryant thought about a 3. Now he will.
So you're up 13. They get a score and a 3, and it cuts it to 8. Now remember, Pippen hit a huge 3 at the end of the half of Game 5. Let's see if the Blazers can get a score.
Game clock overlapping the shot clock by a little more than 2 seconds. Damon Stoudemire into traffic, finds Rasheed.
He is really hurting him with his penetration, getting in the lane, forcing the Lakers to step up, and Rasheed Wallace once again with a great finish.
Only a couple of seconds to get off a shot.
Wow.
Kobe actually drew iron trying to bank it in from beyond half court.
Game 3, Portland up 10. Game 4 at half, Portland up 5. Tonight up 10. Can they seal the deal tonight? Can they close it? Can they push a Game 7? On the contrary, can the Lakers find a way to get back into this game and end this series tonight?
Scottie Pippen's with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Scottie, in game. The last game you were so offensive-minded. Tonight only 1 shot.
Well, I'm just kind of letting everybody else take care of the game right now. Steve is rolling. Damon is doing a good job. And, you know, the rhythm of our offense is doing great. So I'm not going to break our rhythm right now. And hopefully second half I can get myself going.
You were in this situation, Game 3, Game 4. Portland came back. I mean, the Lakers came back and took it away from you. What do you have to do to make sure this goes to Game 7?
Well, I'm going to go in and make sure that we get out here in the second half, get warmed up, and have a good second half. I don't think we've been coming out getting good starts. So it's going to be very important that we come out and get started today.
All right, thanks, Scottie. Good luck to you in the second half. All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks. And now stay tuned for Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, Peter Vesey, and Doc Rivers in our New York studios with Net Zero at the half. They'll have interviews and information on the Pacers' series-clinching win over the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. And they'll give us their impressions of the first half of this one at the Rose Garden. Portland is in front by 10, trying to push it to Game 7. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
See this, it's a 5th straight game they've had the halftime lead. Now they won Game 2, obviously, and they won Game 5. The guy that's going to lead the charge here in the 3rd quarter is Scottie Pippen. He told Ahmad he was going to go in at halftime, make sure the guys come out, got warmed up, got into the game. I expect him to be more offensive-minded here to start this period.
Laker ball down by 10. Glenn Rice wanted to take the 3. They got up on him. So they go deep instead to Shaq. Little jump hook over Sabonis, rolls off, but the tip drops.
Rasheed did not check off. That's twice now AC Green has gone to the offensive boards. One time he got Ron Harper a layup, that time a lucky tip, but you got to work hard. Let's see, Scottie goes right back at him here.
Sabonis' pass is deflected and intercepted by Bryant.
If the Lakers score here, I call timeout right now.
Well, they've scored 4 quick points, and there's a whistle after this basket by Harper.
You can work so hard for 24 minutes and give it right back. Look at the Lakers here. Ron Harper with the finish. They said Scottie Pippen was in the dotted line blocking foul. So, Bob, we have played 46 seconds. And if he makes this free throw, the lead has already been cut in half. That's how quickly it goes, especially if you lose your concentration, and the Blazers have been known to do that.
The foul was Pippen's first against his old Chicago teammate. 5 unanswered points just like that. So the Lakers, who once trailed by 15, who trailed by 10 at halftime. Now less than a minute into the third quarter, are within 5.
And when you lose the lead at home, you feel more pressure than you do on the road. You have a tendency to tighten up as your fans start getting nervous. Clock's getting down against them.
5 seconds to shoot. Wallace will. It pops out. No luck on the shot, and the Blazers needed some luck there.
Well, when you isolate like that, the one thing you don't do is get offensive rebounds if you miss. The Blazers shot 56% in the first half. They will not do that in the second half.
Kobe dumps it into Rice for the jumper. That won't stay down, and Sabonis takes it.
They got to push, Bob. They don't want to play a half-court game.
Pippen. It's a big one if he hits it, but he doesn't. Out of bounds and touched last by Portland.
Scottie Pippen has taken 2 shots, both of them 3-pointers. He's at his best when he's attacking. And remember, we talked about the Blazers. When they come out shooting jump shots, they start standing around. When they attack is when they are at their best. Right now, shooting jumpers and standing.
Harper gets to the basket, throws it up on the run. Green follows it. Neither can hit, and here comes Stoudemire. It's 3-on-2 if they hurry. Pippen had it knocked away by Rice. Glenn Rice against Steve Smith. O'Neal in deep. Coming over to block it from behind is Pippen. Stoudemire up in the air, finds Smith. Little flip won't drop. Neither will the tip. Sabonis has it. Turn around off the glass, no good, and there was a whistle.
But that's great energy. That's what you want to see if you're Mike Dunleavy. Even though you didn't get the results, the game is picked up here. They've been able to run. They haven't been able to finish, but Sabonis, with the extra effort, Steve Smith gets inside, misses a tough shot, and it's one effort in the tip, and then Sabonis goes after it one more time, attempts a little fading jump shot and gets fouled. But these are 2 big free throws to try to stem this tide, to push this lead back up to 7.
After almost 2.5 minutes, their first point of the second half. Sabonis, who won an Olympic gold medal as the star of what was then the Soviet Union team in 1988 in the games in Seoul, Korea, makes them both. At that time, as we mentioned earlier in the series, he was one of the half-dozen best all-round players in the world and possessed a remarkable array of subtle skills for a man 7'3".
And to me, still one of the most fun guys to watch play because he can pass, shoot, and he really knows how to play.
But age and injuries have compromised those skills to a certain extent. Kobe up in the air to find Rice for 3. And just before the shot clock, Glenn Rice hammers home the 3. He's got 10, and more importantly, it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, don't leave Glenn Rice. Remember in the third quarter the other night, game 4, he got it going, had a big 12-point quarter. Scottie comes down the unforced error, dribbles the ball out of bounds. If I'm Mike Dunleavy, I might get a timeout here, but Scottie, here comes Scottie, leaves, and Steve Smith does not get there soon enough on Rice. He buries the 3. Portland right now in a fog, and the Lakers are attacking.
Ron Harper given room by Pippen, gets it back from Shaq, and it's swatted out of there by Wallace.
That's the one that Bill Russell used to block and tap it to your teammate. That's not the pick on Rasheed Wallace. Block the shot, don't knock it out of bounds. Possession more important there than giving it back to the Lakers.
Glenn Rice knocked away by Steve Smith, and Steve Smith takes off. Portland needed that.
Yes, they sure did. Steve Smith with great hands. Not a guy you would expect to be able to get out of that open court.
And a little bit of breathing room at 6. AC Green flings one up. Shaq can't hit the tip, and Sabonis takes the rebound. O'Neal is 4 for 11. He scored only 8. Rasheed against AC Green, who gets some help And Wallace misses the bank shot.
Again, no offensive rebounders. They're spacing the floor so much to give him room.
Kobe Bryant pulls up and misses. Shaq takes the rebound away from Pippen. Tries a jumper of his own on the baseline that's short.
Sabonis has done a great job keeping him out of the lane.
Smith with Wallace screening for him. And a whistle away from the ball. And illegal defense is called on the Lakers. That ought to be their second. And a technical foul.
When you play against Shaquille O'Neal, you've got to be willing to put your body in there and take it. And that's what Sabonis does. He takes the lick there from Shaquille and forces him to shoot that little fading jump shot. So this guy tonight is doing a great job. His numbers don't give you the real, impact of what he has done tonight. Steve Smith, again, shooting the technical foul. That was the second illegal defense.
Just to go up and down the floor and bang in the paint for some portion of 48 minutes with Shaquille O'Neal ought to win you a Medal of Honor.
Well, and you can see what Mike Dunleavy's doing. He's trying to keep Sabonis out there against Shaq as much as he can because he knows Brian Grant is undersized. The guy tries so hard, but he just can't match up with him.
Smith around the Sabonis screen for the lunging jumper that's good. Shaq came out at it, but Smith was able to get it off.
When you got something working, stay with it. In the first half, Steve Smith ran that play. He got a basket. They came back the next time, and Sabonis scored.
And they built it back to 9. Kobe cuts it to 7.
What a shot. That ball was on a line drive. I don't know how it went in the basket, but you can see Rasheed Wallace is not even playing AC Green. The minute he passed, it went right over to double-team Kobe.
Stoudemire. It's a two-pointer. He was just inside the line.
You think Damon Stoudemire doesn't want to win this game tonight? All he's heard about is the 2 games we've won, he and Anthony have not played many minutes. He wants to change that tonight.
Remember, this is his hometown. He'd love to do it here. These are more hometown fans in a real sense for him than for most of his teammates. Shaquille O'Neal ad-libs a shot, and it spills off. Sabonis has it.
Shaq is tired.
Stoudemire spinning, finding Pippen. Rasheed Wallace mismatch on Harper, who fouled him.
Shaq is working so hard. They've involved him in pick and rolls. They're running 2 and 3 guys at him. Right now, he's going back to the bench, and he's laboring.
He's 0 for 5 in this half and 4 for 13 in the game.
At 1 of 1. That's why Sabonis has to be on the floor. He's the only guy with a body big enough just to try to keep him out of the paint.
Halfway through the third quarter, O'Neal, leading scorer in the regular season and in the playoffs, with 8 points, 0 for 6 at the free throw line to go along with the 4 of 13 from the floor.
He pulled the string on that one. That one barely hit the front of the rim. And we know how vital free throws are.
Wallace, normally a good free throw shooter, hits the second one.
We played about half the third quarter. Blazers have got that 10-point lead back, so they weathered a little slow start, and they got their 10-point halftime lead back.
Kobe Bryant leans in with the jumper, and the rebound comes to Wallace.
If you're Portland, keep the tempo up.
Pippen spinning on Rice. Hammered by Shaq.
That could be a flagrant there. We'll have to see what happens. But Scotty took a big-time blow from Shaquille as he came over. I think they're going to give him a flagrant foul. There'll probably be 2 shots in the ball. If you don't make a play on the ball, it's flagrant. We'll have to see what the referees call her. Scotty goes baseline now. Remember, he has not scored, only taken 2 threes. Shaquille O'Neal comes over. That's a flagrant 1. Now flagrant 1 is 2 shots in the ball. Flagrant 2 There's 2 shots of ball and ejection. 20-second timeout. Now remember, Scottie Pippen's had 2 back surgeries, so a blow like that would have to concern you. Looks like he's got a headache, his back is hurting, and when you get hit by that man, Shaquille O'Neal, you're going to feel it in every bone of your body. Now, again, this is 2 free throws. Blazers are up 11, and they'll have possession of the basketball. This could be a 4-point play.
Scottie Pippen playing in his 197th career playoff game. Only one man in NBA history has appeared in more postseason games, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played into his 40s and is way out front with 237. And
the other night with his 6 steals in Game 5, he passed Michael Jordan as the all-time steals leader in playoff basketball.
So now it's the Blazers by 11. Damon Stoudemire over O'Neal. No good in the rebound to Green.
So the Lakers only get 1 point off that flagrant one.
Stoudemire trying to contend with Bryant. He flips it into Shaq. A little hop into the lane, and before he can take a shot, there's a foul.
So now, that's Sabonis' first foul. What Mike Dunleavy would like to be able to do is for him to have 3 going into the 4th period. So if he picks up another one, maybe 2, he'll keep that eye on that lead, but he wants him to have 3 fouls to use on Shaq in the 4th.
When Rice gets into the paint, Shaq can't follow it, and it's little Stoudemire who comes up with it, pushing it to the front court. Bryant and Harper surrounded Wallace, and one of them fouled him.
See, but what happened on that play, Wallace was down the floor quicker than any of the Laker big men, so Ron Harper had to pick him up. He immediately had the mismatch and had to take the foul. But look at this. Look who's guarding him. This is why they want to run, because the Laker big men can't get back with him defensively.
Pippen. Rebound saved to the corner. Stoudemire swings it back into Sabonis, but hold on.
I was getting ready to say, if Sabonis took that shot with a new shot clock. Scottie stepped out of bounds as he went for that loose ball. So, see, Scottie is really trying to get in the flow of this game right here. Actually kicked the ball out of bounds. Stoudemire stepped on the line.
The foul prior to that had been on Harper, his 3rd. Bryant still has only 1, and here is Kobe finding Harper. They swing it around to Green.
Blazers got 5 guys in the lane. Rice is going to have to make a jumper to loosen this up.
Which he just did. He's got a dozen now. And the Lakers trail by 9. Scottie Pippen kicks it out to Stoudemire from the corner. Could have been a 3. Sabonis, though, gives them a fresh 24.
Going to go high screen roll once again with Steve Smith. They've hurt them on this play. Watch Sabonis stepping back.
You called it, but he couldn't hit it. AC Green on the move with a hook that spills off. Shaq is there, and he was fouled.
And that's a great foul by Rasheed Wallace. Don't let Shaq catch the ball and lay it in the basket. He's 0 for 6 from the free throw line. You've got to make him earn his free throws tonight.
AC Green out. Robert Horry in. And 2 coming for O'Neal. That's his first make of the night. They were remarkable heroes, but many of their stories were never told. Now at last a tribute. The opening of the National D-Day Museum, and who better to bring you this special event than Tom Brokaw. Don't miss the Home of the Brave on NBC Nightly News Monday. Stoudemire has it after Shaq makes 1 of 2. And 1 of 8 for the game now. Sabonis it inside to Smith. A brilliant pass and the reverse by Smith.
You cannot take your eye off of your man when you are guarding Sabonis or when you're off the ball. He will find you. That time, a beautiful drop-down pass to Steve Smith.
And the lead is back to 10. Whistle at the other end. Foul on Steve Smith, and that's his second.
Sabonis is going to come in the lane with this. It looks like he's going to shoot a sweeping hook shot. At the last minute, he's going to pass it. Harper turns his head. Steve Smith goes right behind him, works against his vision, lays the ball in the basket. Blazers still lead by 10. The rebounds, the points, relatively even. And if you are the Blazers, you have to be thrilled with that. You've got a 10-point lead, and also Scottie Pippen only has 1 point.
Here's Kobe Bryant into the corner for Robert Horry. His three hits the side of the glass. Shaq is there and beats the 24-second clock as he rolls it in.
Arvydas Sabonis tried to take that foul, and Shaq just powered right through him.
How about Robert Horry, though?
Well, he's thinking about that jump shot right now. You can see that. Nothing's coming easy.
He couldn't hit the ocean from the shore right about now.
When Shaq gets this rebound, watch Sabonis here. He's going to reach out. He tries to grab Shaq right there. That little touch foul, the referee's not going to call. He's going to have to reach up and grab him, wrap him up.
After Glenn Rice's second foul, Pippen stands at the line and has a chance now to up the lead back to 10. Transition, taking it to the basket. A wild shot that's no good.
That was a long first step, and Robert Horry heard you, I think, Bob. His outside jumper wasn't going. He said, you know what, I've got to get to the basket. And he does, and he's going to shoot 2 free throws here as Rasheed Wallace picks the foul up, which is his third.
Well, he still has his stroke from the line. This Sunday on NBC, our coverage of the WNBA continues as Teresa Weatherspoon and the Liberty take on league sensation Shamiqua Holdsclaw and the Mystics. The WNBA on NBC Sunday at 1 Eastern.
Remember, it runs now at the end of the last 2 minutes. The Lakers would love to get a little surge here, cut this maybe to 2 or 3. The Blazers would like to have a double-figure lead.
Sabonis' pass intended for Wallace goes astray.
That's a bad angle to try to make that pass. He's on the line there with Wallace. You've got to get in an angle where you can make that delivery.
Harper had to go off his fingertips, an exchange of turnovers. Inside 2 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Rasheed Wallace into the paint for the slam.
Wow, no flip there. Just turn and go with power. See, that's one of those momentum baskets right now. The crowd is into it once again.
Bryant from Horry.
And that's one of those crowd quieters if you are a Laker fan right now. Kobe, again, with that little jump shot that has been on target here in Portland.
Kobe has 18 tonight. A minute to play in the third. Rasheed Wallace with the jumper, and he answers.
How good is this guy? Since he got thrown out of game 1, he's averaged 26 points a game in the last 5 ball games. He has been terrific.
And he's been gritty, too. Played all 48 minutes of game 4 on a bad ankle. Harper left alone. Stoudemire cuts in front of Rice, beats him to the rebound, pegs it ahead to Pippen. Spins between 2 defenders and draws the foul.
Rasheed Wallace, inside, outside. Bob, we marvel at this young man's talent. He's He's got position, long arms, quick move across the middle, and no little jump shot. Extends and power dunks it, and you see the emotion in Rasheed Wallace. The next time down, he was pushed off the block, and he hit the outside jump shot. 4 quick points. Pippen now shooting 2 more free throws.
The foul on Harper was his 4th. He sits. Shaw enters. Pippen at the line has scored 3 points, and as you see, still does not have a field goal in the game.
But has a major impact with his defense roaming around. He's one of the reasons why Shaquille O'Neal is working so hard. You get a stop here, Bob. You got a double-digit lead going in.
Kobe hands it to Shaq, and you can't stop that.
And that's one of the things that the Blazers don't want to give him, are those power dunks.
But if you told the Blazers Shaq would have 13 points after 3, they would take it happily.
Absolutely.
That's Kobe's 2nd.
Kobe Bryant tries to take the charge. Right there, he reaches in with that left arm, and Steve Smith, the wily veteran, reaches up and hooks him to sort of bait him into that foul. It's the same kind of foul Kobe got game 5. His 6th foul, the little lockdown by Steve Smith, fouled him out when he was in the post.
Smith, an excellent free throw shooter, averaging 16.5 a game in the playoffs after averaging 15 a game in the regular season. That was his 20th point. And look how consistent he has been.
How about the three-point shooting? As the series gets tougher, it's supposed to get tighter. He shot the ball better. Rasheed Wallace going out, quick rest, 3 fouls. They don't want him to pick up his 4th in the last 19 seconds of this 3rd period.
Kobe Bryant, 6 seconds. Shaq double team, back to Kobe, fires a 3, and it's a huge one for Kobe Bryant. So the Blazers, who led by 10 at halftime, are up by 8 heading into the 4th, but it would have been 11 without this.
Bonzi Wells gave too much help, and Kobe Bryant, it's unbelievable. He shot the ball much better here on the road than he has in the Staples Center. That's a big shot. Just mentally, instead of being down double digits at 11, you're within 8, and you feel good about yourself going into that timeout to start the 4th quarter.
Kobe has 21. He and Steve Smith lead all scorers with 21 points. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Kobe, because he is slick, okay?
He is slick. He's a veteran. He should be slick.
How good is Danny Crawford? That's great refereeing right there, too. He tells Kobe, I knew what Steve Smith's all about. Now let's see the Blazers. This is a big possession here. They got a chance to push this thing back to double digits, which is the first possession of the quarter.
Bonzi Wells. Brian Shaw on him. Sabonis wide open. Got it.
How about 11? Is that a 3?
No, it was a 2.
Oh, I thought he had it feet behind the line, but a long 2, so a 10-point lead.
O'Neal trying to come right back at him and answer, and he loses it.
The Blazers do not want to get in a half-court game. This has been good to them. Keep pushing so the Laker big men can't get back and get sacked.
Steve Smith swatted out of there by Robert Horry, but into the hands of Pippen. 6 seconds to shoot. Scotty off the glass, and it stays down.
Now, Scotty's got a lot of energy. He has not used much on offense tonight. He can set himself up here for a big 4th quarter for the Blazers.
That was his first field goal. He has 6 points. Brian Shaw for three. He got a good look at it and hit it cleanly.
Remember I said they need to use the three wisely. Game 5, they took 27 threes. Tonight, they've taken 9 and made 5 of them, shooting over 50%.
Bonzi Wells driving on Shaw, up and under, no good. Glenn Rice for three.
Don't leave him.
Sabonis had board position on O'Neal.
Brian Grant better get out of that lane. Almost a 3-second call.
Bonzi Wells will try a two-pointer and hit it.
Now, he's not known for shooting that long outside jumper. He loves to post and get in there and bang.
He's chipped in with 8 off the bench. Blazers by 11. O'Neal cuts it to 9.
That was a nice rhythm move by Shaquille. Probably the cleanest look he's got in a long time. And we look out at the Blazer lineup, they've gone with that big backcourt. Pippen, Steve Smith, and Bonzi Wells out there now with Brian Grant and Sabonis.
Underneath to Bonzi Wells, who got free.
This is the Bonzi Wells we saw in the first 2 games.
Kobe Bryant had it knocked away by Steve Smith. Smith scoops it up. He's got Pippen on his right. Scotty waits for his teammates, one of whom is Grant. Grant up, little contact, no foul, and Wells and Ori are tied up for the jump ball.
We have not seen Greg Anthony tonight. We have seen Bonzi Wells because of his size and his ability to score. He steps out on the floor and he makes the jump shot. And then the next time down the floor, he goes right into the block. They front him. The great pass, the two-hand catch, the powerful finish. The Blazers are up by 11 and attacking.
They're coming to the glass every time. We got to be there.
If they will rebound, and if the Lakers are going to go to that glass, then Portland can push the ball out and take advantage of that. You also heard Scottie Pippen's voice, no dunks.
Arvydas Sabonis, as you saw for a moment there, with 8 rebounds, all of them in the second half. Danny Crawford to toss it up between Wells and Ori. And the Lakers have it. Before the game, you said they needed 15 from Glenn Rice. He's got 12. Almost 9 minutes still remaining. Use the threes wisely. They've taken only 10 and hit half of them. Kobe Bryant, we didn't know if he'd play. He's played every second, and he scored 21 points. That one's short. And Bonzi Wells beats a couple of Lakers to the ball. So many of the things the Lakers hoped would turn out right have turned out right, and they still trail by 11 because Shaq has been held to 15, about half his average.
Well, we said he had to dominate in the paint, and the Blazers have done a great job of just trying to slow him down and make him work. And Bonzi Wells made a great hustle play. Coming out of that timeout, the ball was loose. It was bouncing on the floor, and he went back and got it. And sometimes it's the loose balls, it's the rebounds, all the chances to get an extra possession, especially when you have the lead.
After Rick Fox's 3rd foul, Blazers inbound. Here's Bonzi Wells with the turnaround, and it won't drop for him. But Brian Grant wins the battle for the rebound.
Now they get a new 24-second shot clock. That means they could use up to 48 seconds on this possession.
Grant was fouled trying to take it to the rack. That's 3 on Bryant. Grant, in his 6th year out of Xavier, will shoot a couple. So far, it's been a world of upsets at the always unpredictable French Open, but American Venus Williams is still leading the championship charge as she takes to the court and keeps her hopes of winning her first Grand Slam title alive. The French Open, presented by BNP Paribas. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3 Eastern on NBC.
Look at the pressure up the floor. Going to get a shot clock. Oh, barely beat it.
Kobe Bryant had it stripped away, but there was a foul.
They almost got a 10-second violation there. That was very, very close.
They've got 10 seconds to get it across midcourt as we take another look at it. The Blazers up by 13 and applying pressure in the backcourt.
You see right there down at the shot clock at 14, it's a violation. So watch what happens there. That thing is ticking down, and Robert Horry at the last minute, boy, that was very, very close.
And Kobe misses the first one.
And Mike Dunleavy's going to call a timeout. Now this is what Phil Jackson does a lot. Guy misses the free throw and makes the first one. He takes the timeout in between the second one. Maybe let him think about it, and then he'll talk to his team what he wants them to do coming out of this timeout.
Be favored in the finals, but the Lakers would figure to be a larger favorite than Portland. And in any case, the Pacers would like to see a 7th game because they've got to travel west to either here or LA, and they'd like the winner to come out of the West with as little rest as possible. With that miss, Kobe goes 0 for 2, and as a team, the Lakers are 11 for 23, under 50% in the game. They've missed 12 free throws, and they trail by 13 points. Sabonis for 3. That might have torn the roof off the place. Horry looking for Shaq, but Pippen flies in and deflects it out, and he thinks that it went off O'Neal's hands last.
Now it's interesting, the fact that Scotty is not attacking Kobe tonight because Kobe's not playing him has really given him more energy on the defensive end. Scotty has been everywhere. Take a look there. Scotty deflects that ball.
Here's Brian Shaw back live, missing the jumper. Bryant battling, pulling in the rebound, but there's a foul on the Lakers.
There is absolutely no spacing in the Laker offense right now, and that's what this triangle offense is all about, spacing and angles. The shot goes up. There are 5 Blazers in the paint. The only way the Lakers can get a rebound is to go over their back.
The foul was Bryant's 4th. 7 minutes left. Bonzi Wells drives the baseline, and Shaw had to foul him.
Now look at the Lakers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Blazers. Watch here when this shot goes up. Only 1 Laker in there. Look at the cup that is built. The only way that you can get that rebound is to go over the back, and that's exactly what Portland wants to do. Give them the shot with a hand in their face. No second shots. Come down the floor and go to a matchup that you like, and tonight it's been Bonzi Wells.
The Lakers still have nearly 7 minutes to try to come back. But assuming for a moment that Portland holds on, the Lakers would have won 2 of 3 here. Portland has won 2 of 3 in this series, and 3 of their last 4 overall dating back to the regular season at Staples Center. That 7th game at home isn't that much of a cushion for the Lakers. Here's Horry, finally finding the range on his jump shot, and all the pressure would be on the Lakers. They're the team favored to win not just this series, but the NBA title. At one point not long ago, they won 30 games in a 31-game stretch. And they'll come into a potential Game 7 on the verge of coughing up a 3-1 lead. The greater pressure would seem to be on them. Rasheed Wallace misses. That's assuming Portland can get it there.
Now the one thing that the Portland Trailblazers don't want to do is start shooting a lot of outside jump shots.
They lead by 13. Brian Shaw tries to cut it to 10 and does.
I get a timeout if I'm Mike Dunleavy. I'm very careful. Back-to-back shots here. Now the Lakers have 14 fouls, so the Blazers are going to shoot. Oh, that's close to over and back, but they'll shoot free throws if they'll attack that basket from the rest of the game.
Bonzi Wells lost it. And with 5:50 remaining, The Lakers have the ball, trailing by 10. They have hit 6 of 11 threes tonight. Mike Dunleavy's team 0 for 6 from beyond the arc.
But see, that's playing in character for the Lakers. You know, they averaged 13 three-point attempts during the course of the season, didn't shoot them that well. You start shooting 25, 27 threes, that's when they lose.
Shaw again. Not this time, but the rebound to Ori. Looking for Shaq. Got inside Sabonis, and Grant comes over for the foul.
This is why it's important for Shaq to make free throws early in the game, because when he struggles, you know that Portland is going to come hard, and they are not going to let him lay the ball in the basket. Last time here, 9 of 9. This time, here comes Brian Grant. That's an excellent foul. Shaq will step up now to shoot 2 free throws. 10-point lead, and still a long time to go. 5:31 in the fourth quarter. Shaq 1 of 8 on the evening. You can see what's happened during the course of this playoffs. His fourth quarter free throws, his fourth quarter field goals. It'll be very, very important here. If he can start making these free throws, put a lot of pressure on the Blazers.
He makes them both. Clutch free throws by Shaq. Cuts it to 8.
Well, he always says, Bob, that he'll make them when they count. He stepped up there and he made 2 big ones.
Scottie Pippen, and Bernie Fryer says hold on.
That's a great play by Scottie. He comes down the floor, and you try to front the post, and when you do, all you have to do is turn the corner. There is no defensive help. Once again, Kobe Bryant in foul trouble, so you know that they're going to go at him at the end of this game. But when you get up on that side of the post on Steve Smith, there is no way you can get back and give help regardless of how quick you are. Scottie recognized it.
Pippen with 7. Needs the second one here to reestablish a 10-point lead. 5:24 left.
How strange it must be for Phil Jackson to sit on that bench and see Scottie Pippen shooting free throws to try to beat him.
They won 6 rings together. Somebody's going to leave the other behind in the pursuit of a 7th. Bryant missed, and it's Pippen with the rebound.
Now, who's Kobe going to guard? If it's Pippen, he will attack him, try to foul him out of the game. So let's see if they go to that. See, Scottie says, I want the ball in the post. Get out of there, Steve. I've got the advantage.
Steve Smith backs up for 3. He caught it, took a mini step backward to get beyond the arc, and drilled a big one.
This guy is a big game shooter. You know, you think if you're a coach, who would I like to take a big shot for me when it counted? I always felt when I was coaching, Steve Smith was one of those kind of guys. Steps back, no hesitation, he buries it, and then I thought he had bad legs. Look at the little dance he's getting here, getting excited. They think they're headed for Game 7.
With Scottie Pippen, then and now.
We all saw a great competitor in Scottie, and what he had to find is the nurturance to become, you know, the kind of competitor that could stay focused under duress. And now facing him on the other side, him knowing all the angles of our offense, knowing how to disrupt our game, and trying to make him pay a little bit for it, it is not easy. He sees that ring in front of him on that merry-go-round in which he can grasp something that I want. And that's a championship that's just this far away from us, and we both have to put aside what we've done over the past 11, 12 years and, you know, play our respective roles that have to be played out here.
As Phil was commenting on Scottie, Sabonis fouled O'Neal, but the Blazers aren't over the limit. Just the second foul on Arvidas. Laker ball from the side. Right back into Shaq. Up top to Bryant. O'Neal in the paint. And another foul. It's on Sabonis. It's his 3rd as we go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. You saw that ultimate respect there from Phil to Scottie. And in talking with Scottie, Scottie told me over the 11 years, every day at practice he learned something new under Phil Jackson. And now it looks like the things that he learned are about to come back and haunt Phil Jackson. Bob?
Thanks, Ahmad. Unless Brian Shaw can do something about it, and he's doing his best.
When this series started, Mike Dunleavy said, one of the guys that really worries me is Brian Shaw. Remember, Brian Shaw was here with Portland. They had to trade him to get Scottie Pippen, so he knows his ability to shoot the three.
Pippen to Sabonis. Shaw has 9 points on 3 threes in 5 attempts. Sabonis for 2. Wells picks it up. Takes it right in with the left hand.
Bonzi Wells, fresh legs tonight, great energy. Playing like a young guy, having a lot of fun. Those second shots really cost you.
Shaq's pass for Ori, but Ori's shot is blocked.
Rasheed Wallace gets a piece of it coming over. Now Scottie Pippen is going to direct this tack. 3:35 to go. And the Portland fans are starting to taste it here. A possible showdown on Sunday afternoon.
Steve Smith. And they lose it. Here comes Shaw, wrapped up by Pippen. But that's going to put the Trailblazers with the Lakers over the limit.
Sabonis is going to miss the shot, and nobody blocks out Bonzi Wells. The ball goes long, and Bonzi takes it right back to the basket, right around Shaquille O'Neal. Used his quickness, used his body with a nice finish. Look at this, 14 points in 15 minutes tonight.
One of the many keys for Portland tonight, as Shaw misses the first. They've outscored the Lakers in the paint. 44-28, that's remarkable. Shaq has 17 points on 17 shots. Meanwhile, Sabonis, as Shaw misses them both.
How do you figure that? You step in and you make a couple threes and you walk up and miss 2 free throws.
Sabonis has played 42 minutes, his longest stint of the entire season, regular or postseason, and he's been very, very effective.
The question I have is, if they do win, can he get his legs to recover for a Game 7? Remember, Sabonis now, he has not played this kind of minutes, and it could be tough for him to try to rebound. He is going to have to give everything he can in that Game 7.
And perhaps part of the reason he's done so well tonight is that there was an extra day off between Games 5 and 6.
I agree with that. I mean, the longer of rest you can give him, and Mike Dunleavy's going to have to take a look at this. If he gets a chance to feel like that this is out of reach, and it's still a long way away, if he gets down to that minute-and-a-half mark or whatever, get Sabonis out of the game, and give him as much rest as you can. He has been tremendous tonight.
The Lakers ask for time. The free throw line has been unkind to them. 13 of 27 for LA tonight.
It looks like it's sort of a formality that they're going to bump Portland off in 5. If they can hold on here for the last 3 minutes of this game, we're going to a Game 7. That's really an unbelievable turnaround. And you have to give the Blazers and their coaching staff a tremendous amount of credit.
And how about Bonzi Wells, who just hit the free throws? 16 points in 16 minutes tonight. Kobe's 3 may come a bit late.
Kobe Bryant has shot the ball so well tonight. Remember, he had more turnovers than field goals in Game 5. Tonight, that has not been the case.
Portland asked for a timeout rather than risk the turnover. They lead it by 11. 2:34 to play in Game 6.
He made all 6 of them. Remember, only 2 in the 4th quarter. He was 2 for 2. Well, tonight, they've gone back down there hard again, forced him to give the ball up, and he's 3 of 9. So they've done a great job of not letting him dominate the second half like he did in Games 3 and 4 when they won in here to take the home court advantage back.
Here's Bonzi Wells backing in, taking the shot in the paint and banking it home. He's got 18.
Why not? Everything else is going for him.
He had 17 in Game 1. This is his biggest game of the series. Kobe Bryant comes back with another 3, and as a team, the Lakers have made 9 of 14 threes. If you just saw that stat and no other and hadn't seen the game, you'd have to assume they won.
Scottie Pippen got hit with a back screen and was holding his shoulder on that last possession. We'll have to see if he's okay. Looks like Ori throws down Sabonis in the post.
And Ori is hit with his 4th.
Scotty's holding his shoulder. You can see right there as he talks to Mike Dunleavy on the sideline. He got hit with a blind pick and went down. You're going to call out those back screens. That's one thing as a guard. You get really upset if someone doesn't call those things out when you're up pressuring the ball. Now watch here. Scotty's guarding the ball. Steps up and sets a back screen. Rick Fox and catches him. And Scotty wasn't very happy about that. His defensive man didn't talk to him.
Sabonis in double figures now with 10. He also has 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Bryant for another 3. 3 in a row he's nailed now.
Wow. He's got a piece of tape there on the floor, I think. He's just going right there and shooting it.
His high game of the series, 30.
Bonzi Wells got to be very careful to dribble that ball into a trapping area.
Rasheed Wallace against Ori.
Basket here might seal the deal.
4 seconds to shoot. Wallace was pushed out of his range, but there's a foul on the play against Ori.
Wow, that's a play. Robert Ori. A little something going here away from the basketball with Scottie Pippen, maybe Rick Fox. Remember now, in game, was it game 1 in here that they, or excuse me, game 3 in here that those guys had their little skirmish. But he was upset with the back screen. Let's see now here. He blocks Scotty off the boards. Scotty grabs him by the shirt, and then Fox comes back and pushes him in the chest. Scotty's got to be very, very smart here. He was very fortunate when he threw that hard elbow that he didn't get suspended for game 5. He doesn't want to do anything right now with 1:28 to go and a 9-point lead.
Rick Fox, movie star handsome, and in fact he's had some acting roles. He's married to Vanessa Williams, but before you think he's just a Hollywood pretty boy, he's really been something of a roughneck in these playoffs.
Well, he gives Scotty a hip and knocks him out of bounds. Scotty recovers, grabs him by his jersey, and then there's the push in the chest. Good refereeing as they come over and get those two guys separated, but bad blood since game 3 in here. That's the game, remember, that Brian Shaw walked away from the bench and got suspended.
Rasheed Wallace now with 18. Kobe, Wallace came out and deflected that.
Bob, that's going to do it.
Bonzi Wells looking for 20, and he's got it.
Now if you're Portland, this last minute, you act like you're supposed to do this. Nothing silly.
This is Bonzi Wells' career high. Brian Shaw for 3.
What are these threes, Bob? 6 of 27 in the last game. It's like they've got radar tonight. They can't score in the paint, but they're shooting the threes.
Trying to trap, and instead Pippen is fouled. LA has made 7 of 9 threes in the 4th quarter.
And still trail by 10.
And for the game, they've made 11 of 17. And look at Fox and Pippen. Bonzi Wells has to get in there.
Mike Dunleavy's got to get Scotty out of the game, too, because he knows he's got to get him out of the game. He's got to shoot these 2 free throws. But Scotty's got to be very smart here. He cannot lose his poise.
So many stories in this game. One of them is Bonzi Wells, a career high, not just for the playoffs, but any game. He got 20. This is his 2nd year out of Ball State, but he hardly played at all as a rookie, so essentially he's a first-year man. Let's watch what happened here with Fox.
Rick Fox is going to come up, he and Scotty, give him something in his ear. Scotty gives him a little elbow, gives it to him back. Scotty has got to stay away from that. That'd be a heck of a trade-off. If you're a Blazer fan, you lose Scottie Pippen, the Lakers lose Rick Fox. I think the Lakers would take that.
Like it was Christmas. Inside a minute. Kobe will try another 3, and he'll hit it again.
That same spot on the floor. I mean, every one has been right on the money. How about Kobe Bryant? Had his worst game, now has come back and had his best. Here's Rick Fox now gives Steve Smith the shove. The Blazers have got to keep their composure, and now Mike Dunleavy saying something to Rick Fox. See, I played with Mike. Mike has got a little temper on him. And he's standing up for his players right now.
And Fox has been hit with a technical.
And here they are, Fox and Scotty. Scotty, they got to get away.
Scotty walking away because he's aware of what you were talking about.
Well, see, the referee's got to do a good job right here. They cannot let him be out there on his own walking around.
And now Pippen exhorting the crowd.
Look at Scotty glaring over at the bench right now.
And I'll bet you Dunleavy said something to this effect. How cheap and chippy is all of this, what you're doing? I've got key guys on the floor, and I wouldn't trade any of them in Game 7 for you, and you're getting free shots at them because you're aware of that.
I'm telling you, I played with Mike Dunleavy. This guy is a competitor. He's a tough guy. I mean, you don't play in the NBA at 6'2", for as long as he did without having some skill, number one, but number two, having some competitive toughness. And he was standing up for his team right there, too. He wanted to let them know he was with them.
Dunleavy was also hit with a technical. One on Fox, one on Dunleavy. 36 seconds left.
So now that they were offsetting technicals, meaning they won't shoot those, these are the two free throws with a personal foul on Fox. So there'll be no technical shots because they were both given out. Here's the little byplay right there, and you see that look on Mike's face. He's talking. I'm not going to read his lips. We've seen Rick Fox. I mean, this guy's a good player. We've seen him sort of out of sorts throughout the playoffs. Remember the game in Phoenix? This game or whatever, where he got kicked out playing only a few minutes when he fouled Cliff Robinson, got a tee or whatever. It seems a little out of sorts right now.
He's auditioning to play bad guys, wants to expand his range as an actor. Meanwhile, though it's done them little good, the Lakers have hit 8 three-pointers in the fourth quarter. That ties an NBA playoff record for most threes in a single period, set by the '96 Knicks, and now shared with the Lakers. And for the game, the Lakers are 12 of 18 on threes. That's outrageous.
Bob, this sets up an unbelievable game, Game 7, as Kobe finally misses. This sets up an unbelievable Game 7. Sunday evening, it should be something.
Last 20 seconds. Smith with a dribbling exhibition.
How about Damon Stoudemire tonight, too? Came out tonight, gave them 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in 30 minutes. His most significant contribution in a win.
Pippen a meaningless 3. But one of the more meaningful wins in Blazer history is now in the books. They led by 10 at the half. They win by 10, 103-93. Steve Smith had 26. Bonzi Wells had 20. 14 of them came in the fourth quarter. Rasheed Wallace had 18. Arvydas Sabonis, 10 points, 9 rebounds, a half dozen assists. Kobe Bryant led the Lakers with 33, but Shaq was held to 17, and Scottie Pippen is with them on.
All right, thanks, Bob. Scotty, in all the years I've been covering you, I've never seen you so demonstrative at the end of a game as you are right now.
Well, I mean, we fought very hard to get back into this series. And, you know, I can't say enough about the way we came and played in the last couple games. We just had a focus that we weren't going to lose, and we was going to outwork this team, and that's what we're doing. And I'm just trying to lead these guys and keep them focused.
You told me that if you guys couldn't win a game at home in this series, you didn't deserve to win a championship.
But if we didn't win this game at home, we wouldn't have a chance. But that's what it's all about. You got to defend your home court. And, you know, like I said earlier, we tried to forget about those games we lost here and start this series over.
A lot of jockeying going back and forth between you and Rick Fox. What's that all about?
Well, I mean, Phil got those guys over there trying to get physical with me and get into my head. And, you know, they're getting a lot of cheap shots on me. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep my head and continue to play.
You were one of the few players on both these teams that has played in a Game 7. Do you think you can get your team ready for that?
Well, I hope that's an edge for us. But, you know, we have to go there and play well. We know we can play well. We look forward to it.
All right, congratulations, Scott, on a great game. All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks. The Lakers will be favored, I guess, on Sunday night. But that aura of invincibility, which only a short time ago surrounded them, has been pierced big time. Since winning the first 2 games in the playoffs, they are now 8-6 in the postseason since the first 2 games against Sacramento. We'll be back in a minute.